over these past few months, new LEGO Star Wars sets have been released, and I'll tell you all of my opinions on them. So getting right into it, starting with the TIE Fighter. The TIE Fighter is certainly one of the best sets of the wave, if not the best, because it is really detailed as you see, and fun fact, it is one of 2 sets I actually have of this wave. And if you want to know the other set I have, keep watching. The minifigures are pretty generic, a stormtrooper, droid, and a TIE Fighter pilot, but they do fit the set. These generic minifigures allow people to buy multiple of the set if they so want to, so I think that's a pretty good plus side of this set. But I guess it would have been nice to get some exclusive minifigures. Of course, this TIE Fighter is not the best TIE Fighter ever because the 2018 version really dominates in every remark, and we'll get to one. The previous predecessor of this TIE Fighter was $90 Canadian and $70 American, so I think this is a pretty good downsize of the price at $40 American and $50 Canadian. Personally, this is just too much for me to spend on a TIE Fighter, so I'm really happy they brought it to $40 American and $50 Canadian. The TIE Fighter is just really good looking and detailed. Look. It has really good detailing on the wings, really intricate detailing, and of course on the other side. But the cockpit, a little big for the size, but it is really good, especially the wings. Not so much the cockpit though. There is one thing you cannot deny about this TIE Fighter. It is tiny, I mean tiny. Look at this thing in hand. Compared to the 2012 TIE Fighter, it can legitimately fit inside the 2012 TIE Fighter's wings. Honestly, in my opinion, if they up the TIE Fighter price $10 and fix the proportions of the wing size to the already oversized cockpit, I would be very happy. The size of this TIE Fighter is just one thing I hate about the set. It's very tiny, so I wish they did that. Overall, it's definitely a worse version of the TIE Fighter to solo a Star Wars film. X-Wing. In my opinion, this set lacks a little detail and it relies too heavily on sticker pieces for that detail. R2-D2 that's supposed to sit back in the X-Wing practically looks like it's floating above the X-Wing with how high it is standing. Just like the 2018 TIE Fighter and the 2021 TIE Fighter, it is definitely a worse counterpart to the 2018 TIE Fighter. It's just smaller, less detailed, and any way you cut it, it's worse. The minifigures of the set might be the only saving grace of the set because it includes General Dodonna, a general of the Rebellion who we've never seen in LEGO before, which is really nice to see an exclusive minifigure for the set. Besides this, the minifigures are pretty plain. A Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, and another Princess Leia. They do fit the set, which is really good, but I wish there was more exciting minifigure selection. Honestly, if I were to describe these sets so far, I just describe them as nothing special and pretty boring, honestly, because we've already gotten a set 3 years ago in 2018, the exact same model, TIE Fighter and X-Wing, but just remodeled, and it's pretty disappointing. Trouble on Tatooine. This set is pretty good until you realize they didn't include Marshal Cobb Vanth, the not-so-memorable character in The Mandalorian who stole Boba Fett's armor and had Anakin's pod racer engine as his speeder bike. It would have been a perfect inclusion for the set because The Mandalorian has a speeder and it's clearly seen from when they are speeding along to the Tuscan Raiders for their help, and it would be perfect, but again, LEGO's a cheap company who doesn't really care about their consumers. But besides that, the Mandalorian speeder and the crossbow are very creatively put together and in a very detailed way, so that is really good. It's just disappointing that they didn't include that extra speeder, and yeah, the detailing is amazing for what they have. But then it comes to the Tuscan Raiders tent. Why did they only include one side of the tent? It would have been so easy for them to flip the tent over on its side and put it on the other side to make a full tent, but again, LEGO's a pretty cheap company who doesn't really care. I guess it's for little kids, but whatever. Other than that, the tent's a pretty good design besides the gaping holes in between the tent pieces. This is the second set I got of this wave, and I must say, besides my criticism, it's a pretty good set. The crossbow again, really nice. There's a little flick fire missile where you could fire it off. Boop. Yep, comes out like that. So I like it a lot. It's really good, creatively detailed. I like the parts that looked like it's a crossbow getting ready to fire off. The Mandalorian speeder is exceptional. I've never seen anything in LEGO like this. It's a really good creative looking speeder. You see it put together with really cool parts, really innovative parts. I like them. The figures are amazing with a full Beskar Mando, a Baby Yoda, and a Tuscan Raider. The minifigures are really exceptional, and I like them. It's a really cheap set to go ahead and pick up that Baby Yoda, who previously appeared only in the Mandalorian ship, and it's really easy to get this set with, I believe, $50 Canadian. Okay, now we're moving on to the 2021 second wave of LEGO Star Wars sets, which are pretty, well, questionably bad. Junior's X-Wing. I'm not even going to get into the set because I just think it's wasting a slot in the LEGO Star Wars sets as a junior fighter, which is a severely downsized vehicle for juniors 4+, I believe, and I think it's just wasting a space. But I do say this thinking that LEGO would actually make a good set, but they'd probably just make another horrible downsized model. As you'd probably expect, the model is pretty terrible because it is designed for 4-year-olds. What do you expect? But yeah, they're still using that windshield piece, which I don't understand at all because it is really terrible. It doesn't even fit it. It doesn't even look like an X-Wing. But again, it's for 4-year-olds, so I shouldn't even be talking. But yeah, it comes with a BB-8 and a Poe Dameron, pretty generic but fitting for the set. Imperial Shuttle. I'm thinking about picking this set up just because I don't have an Imperial Shuttle, and I really like to have Imperial Shuttles because I'm a really big Imperial fan along with the Republic. But I do like Imperial stuff, but it's just, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I should get it because I'm really unsure about getting it, and I'll tell you why, the reasons about it. First of all, I don't like it because it sticks to that downsized models of all the 2021 sets, and it has an awful windshield piece in my opinion. It looks way too big in proportion to the rest of the model, which really just upsets me and doesn't make me want to get it, but I really want to, but I don't know. As many other people criticize the chin of this model, I think I do hate it too. It's just dreadful. It looks horrible, and it should just be fixed by LEGO, but of course they can't fix that. They already mass-produced the set. But yeah, I do not like that part at all. Oh, and the fact that it doesn't even have proper landing gear, just 2 knobs. This model is $100 CAD, which just makes me sick thinking about it. And I've heard that from reviews, it's a really put together and sturdy model, which is really good. I'm happy to hear that because I might want to pick this up. But apparently from reviews, also, the 2 minifigures can barely fit inside with no extra space, which is really disappointing. Okay, so taking a look at the minifigures, we have a disappointing Darth Vader, and I'll tell you why it's disappointing in a minute. A Luke, a pilot, and a... Wait, I don't see anything on my script. There must be more. There must be some mistake. I only see 3. Oh, wait, there's only supposed to be 3? What? Yeah, so only 3 minifigures for a $100 CAD set. Pretty disappointing. And on top of that, here's my reason that Darth Vader is disappointing. It doesn't even have arm printing, which I thought they'd continue because they just introduced it in about 2 sets. I think the Bespin Duel and the Emperor's Throne Room, I believe. Yeah, it's really disappointing, and they could have really capitalized on that and had a nice looking Darth Vader, but unfortunately, they didn't because LEGO's cheap. Overall, this set's just kind of sad. That's all I have to say. AT-AT versus Tauntaun Microfighter. So the AT-AT versus Tauntaun Microfighter, and yes, it is pronounced AT-AT, and if you say otherwise, I will literally... Anyways, so yeah, I'm not really well versed in microfighter space. Again, I do not understand the fan base behind them. I don't really like them, I don't really care for them. So that's my opinion on the microfighter versus Tauntaun. Hey guys, so that's it. That's gonna be all of it. I hope you liked this video. If you made it this far, go hit the subscribe button and smash like. Bye.